everyone. Lights in my eyes. I have some notes here. I know what I'm going to say, but I'm still going to read it, so sorry if I'm not looking at everyone. But yes, my name is Ipirq-Procyk, and I am an Indigenous environmentalist and researcher from Hamilton, Ontario. I have a degree in environmental governance from the University of Guelph, a certificate in occupational health and safety. I have previously worked for my province's government in an environmental role, and currently I am an independent researcher and the founder of Northern Health and Safety, which is our participatory project that explores health and safety for communities working on sea ice. The first in-person workshop took place in Iqaluit in Nunavut, which is a remote region of Canada that is predominantly Inuit, and so far north that it has no permanent land connection to the rest of the country. Though I am Inuit and the Nunavut region is my maternal homeland through my mother, I was born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario, by my father, who is Ukrainian Canadian. I had deep roots in the Ukrainian community and traditions through my paternal side that I was very close to. Growing up, I did not know my mother very well. I didn't have much of a connection to her. She was not around much, and I did not get to experience our Inuit culture as I did my father and I's Ukrainian culture. One of the main reasons for this is the long-standing violence of residential schools, which were a system of state-funded religious boarding schools that forcibly removed Indigenous children from their families in order to spread European and Canadian culture. My grandmother was one of those children. The experience affected her relationship with her culture and created intergenerational trauma, which was passed to my mom and then to me. I have chosen specifically to take on Indigenous opportunities in order to reconnect with that side of me. A side I have never really been sure of, never really known whether I belonged or not, which side I was a part of. I'm grateful to my family, partner, and others whose love and support has helped me confidently explore these different sides to myself and decide what it means to be Indigenous and multiracial in the current time. One of the paths that exploration has brought me to is the Northern Health and Safety Workshop Series. My conversations with young people in Nunavut show that youth are well aware of the issues while working on ice. And those who grew up in the area have traditional knowledge about health and safety that has been passed down. But those who moved from other places, many of whom have come to work in the region's large mining sector or whose parents have come for that reason and taken them as family units, are far less likely to have traditional knowledge passed down. They may have heard it secondhand or not heard it at all. Indigenous knowledge that is seen as common sense up north may not be prioritized or even considered at all in the south. Knowledge and preparedness are considered critical for working on the ice, but different communities have divergent beliefs about what that means. Those from the city of Iqaluit or the broader Nunavut region generally highlight Indigenous knowledge about sea ice, while those born elsewhere emphasize education and training as necessary. For both groups, climate change was raised as a key concern. The hunters I was with gave me firsthand access to seeing how quickly things change around the seasons and the dramatic impacts that these have on hunting and traveling. Schedules have to change in order to have meat and fur from animals who are changing their patterns in response to our planetary violence. Ice travel has become too dangerous in certain areas due to melting and refreezing, with the Arctic warming 4 times faster than the rest of the globe. These changes are happening so rapidly that there is a major shift from year to year, making planning all but impossible and further isolating communities. But the workshop conversations also give me hope, as I have seen how Indigenous traditional knowledge and Western science can be used together, so long as we share transparently and make use of multiple ways of knowing to inform the best possible policies. Learning more about my history and culture and building connections with others through shared learning and teachings is what environmental peace building is about for me. I know that many of us here at the conference have similar stories, and we share this planet. Our knowledge and shared passion for nature and peace is what is going to help rectify the wrongs that are plaguing our society. We are the future, and we have the power to make it bright, especially when guided by our elders like Marcel. It has been meaningful to me to get to know Marcel over the past several months, and I want to hand things back to him now to help us learn how he is breaking the colonial cycle of intergenerational trauma through healing, and also how he survived.
It takes a while to grow from the tree.
One day you too will be an elder.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. So I just wanted to say, being a part of the Canoe Project led me to many stories that reflected my own. The canoe is a symbol of reconciliation, not just between Indigenous peoples and non-Indigenous people, but between Indigenous people and their culture. We do not have to feel ashamed of our culture, as many of us, including myself, have. We do not have to hide, and we should feel proud of who we are and where we come from. As many of you might have heard, I was raised by my Ukrainian side of my family, like I said yesterday, 2 days ago, I can't even remember now.
Hello there.
So growing up, I was just Ukrainian, despite being much darker than the others around me. In fact, I was the darkest person in every class I attended at the Ukrainian school I went to. It led me to feel shame for my skin and Indigenous culture. I had no one to show me otherwise, so I hid part of who I was, and I embraced the other part. This project has helped me come out a bit more and learn more about Indigenous cultures in general, while also giving me the strength to explore my own. Many people who wrote about their experiences building and riding canoes had similar sentiments, where doing so allowed them to connect with their culture deeper than they had before. Although canoes are more culturally significant to First Nations and Métis people over Inuit people, which is what I am, my experience in researching the canoe and riding in a canoe was similar. I had the same sentiment of feeling one with nature and cooperating with my fellow riders, regardless of where we came from. The weather was not cooperating before we went out on the canoe, and I decided that I was not going to go, not going to risk it. At the last second, something told me I needed to go on this ride. So thankfully, I changed my mind, and the weather stayed nice and sunny for our excursion. Marcel told me about the first canoe story, and what stuck out to me was the canoe was modeled off the human body, from the soul. While painting my canoe painting, sorry, uncoordinated, I studied the inside of the canoes and was mesmerized by the idea of the skin, blood, and backbone that made up the canoe, which you can see a little bit on the inside that I drew. I have been blessed to be a part of this project and helping the canoe stories reach a larger audience. I am so grateful to have had a small part in this, and I'm glad you were all able to hear more of it from Marcel. Thank you.